right, good evening everyone. Welcome to the Town of Litchfield Energy Committee meeting. Today is January 24th, 2024. Will you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, now we'll have the roll call of members. Sam Terrell, Chair. And we'll start with Eric.
Eric Olson, community member.
Yes,
Citizen rep.
Citizen rep. Right.
Fred French, citizen rep.
Kim Kleiner, Town Administrator.
Karen White, Finance Director, support.
All right, welcome everybody. So second on the item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from December 13th, but I think we'll just go ahead and table those because we don't have the attendance of the people who are here. So we'll just get started reviewing the PUC submittals, the Public Utilities Commission submittals. I have a few documents here. I suppose I'll just read them all into the record. So we have from Daniel Goldner, the chairman of the New Hampshire Public Utilities Commission, regarding a request for approval of the Litchfield Community Power Plan. It says, this is from Kim Kleiner to Dan Goldner. It says, Dear Chairman Goldner, attached, please find the Litchfield Community Power Plan for review and approval by the Commission pursuant to RSA 53-E7. The Litchfield Community Power Plan was approved by the Litchfield Community Power Committee on December 13th, 2023. The plan is being submitted for commission review and approval prior to being submitted to the town's legislative body for approval as allowed under PUC 2204.01A. Once the plan has been approved or rejected by the legislative body, majority vote at Litchfield Town Meeting, and final approval by the Board of Selectmen, the town will notify the Commission, Department of Energy, Office of the Consumer Advocate, and the distribution utility serving Litchfield, Eversource, of such final plan approval or rejection as required under PUC 2204.01G. The municipal employee who is the official liaison for questions about the approval or revised plan and who is authorized to request information from utilities under these rules is Kim Kleiner, Town Administrator, 2 Liberty Way, Litchfield, New Hampshire. The town does not maintain a dedicated website outside the Community Power Committee page on the town website. The town will notify the Commission if such a website is created as required under PUC 2203.01E. The town is providing copies of the plan on the same day as the submission to the Office of the Consumer Advocate, the New Hampshire Department of Energy, and the distribution utility serving Litchfield. Pursuant to concurrent Commission policy, this filing is being made electronically only. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. Sincerely, Kim Kleiner. So that was sent on January 16th to the Public Utilities Commission, just notifying them of our approval. And then we received a response. Oh, we had another letter from Kim out to Daniel Goldner from the Public Utilities Commission on January 16th. So this is regarding notification of formation of a community power aggregation committee. So it says, Dear Chairman Goldner, I am writing to provide notice of the formation of the Town of Litchfield's Community Power Aggregation Committee pursuant to RSA 53E6. On July 24th, 2023, the Litchfield Board of Selectmen, the governing body of the Town of Litchfield, commissioned the Litchfield Electric Aggregation Community Power Committee. Pursuant to PUC 2203.01, here's the required information about our committee. Primary contact for committee, Sam Terrell, Energy Committee Chair. Contact for municipal staff liaison to the committee, Kim Kleiner, Town Administrator. Designation of the person authorized to request aggregated usage information from the utility pursuant to PUC 2203.02. It's Kim Kleiner, the Town Administrator. It lists the URL of the committee webpage. and gives the community power consultant his standard power, 17 Technology Way in Nashua, New Hampshire. And the contact for that is Emily Manns. Sincerely, Kim Kleiner. So those two letters went out to the Public Utilities Commission. And then we got a response 2 days later on January 18th from the Public Utilities Commission regarding DE 24-015, request for approval of Litchfield Community Power Electric Aggregation Plan. It says, Dear Ms. Kleiner, this letter serves as an acknowledgement of the Town of Litchfield's filing. Please reference the docket number cited above on any additional material that is filed in this matter. Please file all material intended to become part of the record directly with the Commission due to recent statutory changes. The Commission is a separate and independent agency from the Department of Energy, and the Commission does not access Department of Energy files. Any information requiring confidential treatment must be filed separately from non-confidential information and clearly identified. For confidential treatment and formatting of an information, see PUC 203.08 or PUC 201.04 as applicable. The Commission's procedural rules are available at puc.newhampshire.gov/regulatory/rules. Please note that under the secretarial letter issued on March 17, 2020, which is posted on the Commission's website, all Commission rules requiring the filing of paper copies are suspended until further notice. Parties may elect to submit any filing in electronic form unless otherwise ordered by the Commission. Filings will be considered filed as of the time the electronic copy is received by the Commission. Sincerely, Dan Goldner. Okay, and there's only one more. And this is an order of notice from the Public Utilities Commission. On January 17th, 2024, the Town of Litchfield filed a Community Power Electric Aggregation Plan, Community Power Plan, with the Commission pursuant to RSA 53E7 for Commission review and approval. RSA 53E7-2 provides that the Commission shall approve any plan submitted to it unless it finds that it does not meet the requirements of this chapter and other applicable rules, and shall detail in writing, addressed to the governing bodies of the municipalities or counties concerned, the specific respects in which the proposed plan substantially fails to meet the requirements of this chapter and applicable rules. This filing raises inter alia issues related to whether Litchfield's Community Power Plan meets the requirements of RSA Chapter 53E and applicable rules. RSA 53E7-2 also directs the Commission to accept public comment for 21 days after receiving any such request from approval of a Community Power Electric Aggregation Plan, and states that the Commission's review of the plan and comments shall not require a contested case. Accordingly, the Commission hereby provides notice that it will accept public comments on Litchfield's Community Power Plan within the first 21 days from the date of submission, or until February 7th, 2024. Comments shall be addressed to the Chairman of the Commission by mail at 21 South Fruit Street, Suite 10 in Concord, New Hampshire, 03301-2429, or by email at clerksoffice@puc.nh.gov. All comments shall readily identify docket number DE 24-015 in the document header and or in the subject line of any email. Litchfield's filing, including its Community Power Plan and attachments, and all subsequent docket filings, other than any information subject to confidential treatment, are available on the Commission website at puc.newhampshire.gov/regulatory/docket/2024/24-015. Based upon the foregoing, it is hereby ordered that the public comments shall be accepted and set forth in the notice and pursuant to RSA 53E7-2 until February 7th, 2024, and it is further ordered a copy of this order or of notice shall be posted on the Commission's website no later than 2 days from the date of issuance. So ordered this 19th day of January 2024. And that's signed by the Chairman Goldner, Pradip Chattopadhyay, who's the Commissioner of the Public Utilities Commission, and Carlton B. Simpson, who is also commissioner. Okay, so that's good. So we've let them know we've formed this committee. We've had the Board of Selectmen approve our plan, and they've responded that basically it is acceptable what we've done. It's all according to the chapters required, and public comments open. Would you say that sums it up? You want to say anything else about all that?
No, I think that sums it up. So the 21-day public comment period has started. You can find all of this information on the PUC website. And the Standard Power is notifying the other parties involved that need to be involved, Eversource, and the Department of Energy. And basically now, the next step is the deliberative and the warrant article.
Okay. Great. So, you guys have any questions about that?
I will say, if you go out, there's probably at least a dozen communities that have also submitted plans.
And you can see it all there on the PUC website.
You can see all the towns, yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to item number 4, which is public education resources, which sounds like there has been some public discussion about the plan, and some misinformation going around on certain social media websites about what the plan is, and something very important that we need to address. So how do we go about, what's the official method for going about making social media posts correcting this misinformation?
So the town has a social media page. Quite often we will post information to that page, and then cross-post it to other sites, whether it's police, fire, other town entities. I think that from some of the comments that I saw, there's a misconception that this is the Coalition of New Hampshire. I think that's probably one of the most important things to correct, because this is a local plan.
So just to be clear, there are people on social media claiming that our community power plan is actually, what is it called? The New Hampshire Coalition plan?
Yes, the Coalition of New Hampshire, which is a group of towns and cities that joined together and formed an entity, and they have a plan, but they have a board of directors that represents the group of municipalities, and they have a private consultant whom they hired, who determines, what rates to accept, and they put out an RFP and they go through their process. One of the reasons that the select board was more interested in forming an alliance with Standard Power is it's the selectmen that ultimately have the authority to accept the rate. So it's a local decision. It's not a decision of a group of municipalities. And then they do that upon the recommendation from the Energy Committee on what the default should be. And so we already know that the selectmen decided upon your recommendation that the default should be the basic, or the lowest rate. And that's not the case with the coalition. There's rates that include renewable energies. And that was a decision that their board made. The other thing is, we have a town relationship with Standard Power, that has existed for a few years. We have already seen savings for the town, through the end of 2023. We had about $82,000 in savings, through a plan that Standard Power operates for NRPC. So there was kind of that history and that historical factor, and we trust their experience. I think there's also some misinformation as to how people will get notified or a lack of notification. And we remember that there's that card that right after town meeting, if the article passes, they will get an information card letting them know about the whole program. Then they get another notification once the selectmen have entered into any agreement with any rates attached to it. Then people that have existing programs, there's communication between Standard Power and them. That was another question. If they've already entered into an agreement with someone, will they be opted in? And we know the answer to that is no. You have to not be in an existing plan to be opted in. And then how to opt out. And so I think if we can get that information out there that the committee has already reviewed and already discussed, and that maybe some of these questions will be answered. But we certainly don't want people to think some other entity is going to choose the electric rates for them.
Yeah, so I think we need to really jump on this. We should be replying to those comments that are false, correcting them, so that we know that people at Litchfield, so that we help people at Litchfield know what the truth is about all this. So if we could put together, like, I guess some bullet points of, just the highest level facts about the plan. Like you said, if you're on a third party already, you will not be opted in. People need to know that. Also, we're not part of the coalition. So those are 2 bullets right there. I guess we should do some brainstorming right now. What else do we need to? What other misinformation have you seen?
The rates,
So
question on the rates.
So we can say that for the initiation of this program, it's a guaranteed lower rate.
Right,
That's an important one. Yeah.
yeah. I saw that mentioned a couple times.
And you're not locked in.
And you're not locked in. That's good. Yeah.
So that tied into what we talked about, putting in the lowest rate to start with. So I think that was a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. People want to save money.
Yeah,
Can opt out at any time.
And out.
I think those are really the high level important facts. Anyone think of any more that we should communicate with the public? We'll include when the plan is supposed to go into effect. And Well, maybe not even that, because we don't know if it's gonna pass warrant articles.
Right, if it doesn't pass, then, you are,
Bets are off.
you have to wait, 2 years before you can propose it again.
Wow.
I think if people go to the PUC website, that's a lot of information, and if you're not used to the PUC website, it can be a little daunting.
Yes.
But we could list the communities that have done a program similar to, with Standard Power.
Do you think that would help them understand? Do we have the website? Has Community Power started setting that up? I was just going to see.
So Community Power sets up a website for when the warrant article passes.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, then that would be
Which
good to send them to
contains-
another town to, well, because the plan's different town to town, so I don't want them to think that
Yeah, what,
whatever town they're looking at is exactly the same as what we're proposing.
I mean, we could communicate, that there will be a dedicated website, which will provide all the information and the opportunity to opt out
Yeah,
right via the website. There will also be a dedicated phone number.
yeah, definitely. Okay.
so should we put in effective date if approved?
I
Something
don't
like
know
that?
that we have an effective date if approved. I think it's kind of floating.
Pending?
Yeah.
So the Standard Power will decide when to issue, bids or when
I
to
see.
allow, bids, but if nothing comes in low enough, then we don't start the
cut over.
program.
Right.
So they did say, it could be months if the rates don't work our way. I think that people are looking at Eversource's recent news that their rates are going to, be lower come February. So they negotiated a good rate. That does not necessarily mean that when they go back out in October, cause they only do 6 months at a time. And I think Emily explained that pretty well, that maybe we don't beat their February rate, but when they go back out in October and November and their rate is higher, we lock in at a lower rate then and people can opt in.
Okay, so I think we've got, those are some good points to send out. Are we planning on sending out anything informational before warrant articles, or is the first thing people get in the mail gonna be that card after it passes?
Great question. So the town and the school puts out what we call a voter guide
Hmm.
on all warrant articles. And what we put in that warrant, in that voter guide, should be decided on by the committee.
Okay,
And it's generally has to be fact-based,
of course.
so that it's not like we are trying to sway the voter
Yeah.
in any way, we are just giving them the facts. And quite often it's material, it's about a paragraph in length. And it's quite often something that's similar to what is on the presentation at deliberative. And so the select board Monday night decided, that Selectman Queenan, cause a selectman will speak to each article, and Selectman Queenan was chosen to speak to this one.
Good.
Okay, so regarding the social media though, we'll put together the word, we'll take these points and write them out more fully. And then we'll make a post on the town page, and should we be replying to the comments that are false, saying this is false? Can we even do that? Or should we just make a general post with information?
General.
I'm going to hate myself here. So the town, on the advice of legal counsel, adopted a social media policy 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
And town council does not advise that we post to social media pages that are not owned by the town.
That means,
oh, so we can't even go on the What's Up page?
no.
Right.
Okay. Oh,
A resident
yeah.
could, share something from the town site to that page. But we don't use it
Directly.
directly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so then we'll just make a general post, coming straight from the town, and pray that it catches on and people learn the truth.
Right. I mean, it would be great if someone would share it over to that page, but yeah, it wouldn't be an official from the town. It would be shared.
Okay. So what, we'll just send these bullets to, his name is John?
John.
And then
I-
he can make up the post and,
Yeah.
and post it. Okay.
Do we know if there is anything? I was trying to look at our page on the website. And I'm not sure that page gives a clear understanding of what this is
On the town
about.
website?
Yeah, so if you look at the Energy Committee page on our town website, there's kind of the 4 major points are out there, right? The community, the overview,
Mm-hmm.
the presentation, the survey they did, and the plan.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's really providing.
Yeah, they really have to dig to get to that detailed information.
So maybe we want to change that up a little so that we can point people to that webpage.
Yeah. You mean the mission statement right here? Maybe we should add some information just right in front so that they don't have to click on extra links to go to PDFs and all that.
Frequently asked questions or something. like
Right.
that.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Something like that.
Yeah, something.
I like
Yeah.
that.
Because even here, it doesn't really speak to the fact that there's a warrant article
Yeah.
coming out, or that,
Yeah, we should definitely update this. We can leave what's there, but yeah, I think maybe the frequently asked questions should be right up front.
Kind of cut out some of the
Mhm.
fluff.
and some of this information is, from last summer when the committee was formed. So we could put the new stuff up at the top and push the, members and the mission
Yeah.
statement to the bottom, and then change it back when we see the need to do that, but, I think if people go to it, I don't even think they're scrolling all the way down to look at those documents.
Yeah, that's likely. Okay, so we have our social media posts. We'll have our information on the town website. Those are the first and foremost places for public outreach and education. Is there anywhere else we should be putting information out? Or is there any other materials we'd like to use for educational purposes? I don't think right now actually is the time.
I mean, just whatever you think should be in the voter guide.
Right, the
And
voter
on
guide.
the deliberative slides. So that, we try to put the information on the slides so that the selectman that's up there remembers all the key points and
Yeah.
and people can see the slides as the article's being discussed.
So, when did you say deliberative was? The 3rd?
Yes, February 3rd at, Campbell
So then
High
you'll need
school
slides
at 10.
and comments prepared by the 31st.
Correct.
Okay. So I suppose we should just go through the plan and pick out, we've just gone over 4 or 5 bullet points that people need to know. They can read it in 1 minute and understand it a little better, but obviously these slides need to be much more detailed than that. So we can take some time, go through the plan, pull out what we think is the most important information for the informational packet, the voter guide.
Yeah. And if the members want some time to do that, you could always just do that, put it into an email and email it to the Energy Committee, and I'll capture it. When I have the voter guide done, I can send it to the committee so everyone can see it, and then I can send the deliberative slide.
Okay. About how many slides do you think, or how long is the presentation?
So we have 16 warrant articles. Help us. And I would say this is a topic that's not as easy to understand as like the operating budget. Everyone knows what the operating budget is, so that's generally
Yeah.
2 or 3 slides. So I would say 3 or 4 slides would be good.
Okay.
In the warrant article, we did put on the portal that warrant article is prescribed by the DRA and the PUC, so that is the article that we have to go with, at least the
Yeah.
wording of the article.
Yeah, we've already approved all that. Okay, well, I'm happy to read through the plan and write, a paragraph or 2. You said it's like 1 paragraph for the voter guide?
Yeah, it's generally, a good sized paragraph or 2 if we need to split it into 2. We generally try to give people a website where they can get information, point them where to go. A kind of overview of how it came to be, so that you'd really want to tell people, and a Litchfield Energy Committee was created of so many citizens, and so that if they are not aware, because it does go to every home,
Yeah.
so people that are not aware as to the work, they kind of get the whole picture.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to write up a few sentences, and if you guys have any comments or just suggestions for what should be included, feel free to email me. And then I'll send it to you, for review, I guess. And then, but then ultimately it's gonna be Kim who's presenting.
Right.
And so we also have to put slides together. Okay. And we have to do that by Wednesday.
Yes. Couple weeks before deliberative is a big blur.
Yeah.
I know last year, like when we did the tax cap, we probably had five or six slides, but it was a, difficult subject to, go through. I think this is too. If you're trying to think of it as someone who knows nothing about this, that has heard nothing,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Could we ask a representative from Community Power to help with the slides, since it seems like they already have their presentation that we've given twice
Yeah,
at public
it's a great
hearings.
idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if
Good
they could
idea.
maybe condense that and put some words on the slides to help, could we just ask them for a little help on that?
Yeah, and I asked about the, voter guide, and they gave this, paragraph here that's on the portal, and, that says optional description for web page, warrant article, and our newsletter.
Oh, I missed that. Okay. So this is what you,
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know what the
Yeah.
committee thinks.
oh,
It's a
great,
good starting point.
yeah. Yeah, so we can just review it, and if we want to make any suggestions to changes, we'll just, we'll let you know. Okay. Great. And of course, if Community Power doesn't get back to us, or they don't wanna give us their materials, then we can help out putting the slides together.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, everyone else's memories were probably better than mine. Did they say they would be at deliberative? That there would be a representative? I'll confirm with them, but I thought that's what they
I
said.
thought Emily said that,
Oh, yeah.
but I might be mistaken.
If not, maybe I'll ask if,
Yeah,
because if someone, I mean, that is an opportunity, anyone can get up and ask any questions, and it may be better to have a
go to the
representative.
source. Yeah,
Definitely.
good point.
And it is, I mean, I think it's Article 14, so it's down the list,
People's patience are gonna be running thin.
I think. I think so. It's a long
How many articles are there?
16.
Oh, so we're at the bottom,
Yeah,
close.
it's okay.
And so, I mean, some of it is prescriptive, like you have to have all zoning amendments,
Mhm.
be your first articles. And then the operating budget is right after that, and so it is a long morning.
Okay, so we have our social media post, we have our website updates, we have our voter guide, and slides for a presentation during deliberative.
You got it.
Well, we will have all that. Yeah. Okay, is there any more discussion on all that?
I think that covers it. I hope people see that, the selectmen, by starting the committee, we're really looking out for, the residents, you know, by being able to offer, something lower to, you know, impact their, utility costs. That's the name of the game. I mean,
And
that's
that's-
the intent.
I see that as one of the differences in this article versus, is gonna be a savings, not additional tax on the community, so
Right, the goal.
that's a, makes us different, in a positive way.
Right. And there's nothing that says, I mean, we have to enter into any agreement if it's not a lower cost,
Mhm.
so.
Right.
I mean, the selectmen would have no reason to. I think there was some question as to whether the town was benefiting in any way from this arrangement. They are not.
Yeah.
The town is not receiving any kickbacks from Standard Power or, I mean, there was nothing in this, for the select board or the town, except to be able to offer something to its residents.
Right. The intent is simply to reduce electricity prices for the townspeople. I think they'll get that. And I think this will pass. I just hope that that misinformation doesn't spread around and gain momentum. That's kind of worrisome. Okay, so then, we've covered public education resources. We talked about resources for town deliberative. Formality, I'll open up the discussion for public comment. Seeing no one here, I will close public comment. And then I guess we'll just schedule our next meeting.
And Kim, the Selectman Queenan, brought up at Monday night that she felt, we should, after this, look at creating Litchfield's plan,
Right.
and kind of develop some goals and objectives. So I know she was gonna mention that tonight. So if you're looking at other towns, or, you can get some information. Some towns have some really, competitive goals. But the one I would say that I really think we need to think about is the municipal buildings and lowering the cost. So, I don't know if you remember back, at the beginning I spoke about, we had gotten a quote for, changing the lighting fixtures in town hall. That wasn't funded in the budget. So I don't know if we could find a grant to do that, or, but I think that's something we really need to look at.
So this would be like a stepping stone into that process.
Like converting, the lights in here to LED and yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. That I think should be one of our top goals, is to increase the efficiency of all the energy consuming devices in the schools, in the town buildings, in the,
Question, is it not possible that the same budget that buys regular light bulbs can just be spent to buy LED bulbs?
I think it could. So there was, the quote that we had gotten, was from a local electrician who works with, an energy saving program through the state. And the initial cost for the changing of the fixtures,
Why do you need to change the fixtures though? Can't you just buy LEDs to put in them?
No, he said that we could not
Not sure it's
on some
compatible.
of the fixtures within the building, especially those that
These
don't even
bulbs,
work.
yeah.
The fluorescent tubes, are there LEDs that you can?
Yeah, I got them
fit?
in my basement. You just pop them out and pop an LED one in.
And you need to show us how, Eric.
Yeah, you just buy an LED one, you pop that one out, and you pop an LED one in, just like changing a regular light bulb.
Yeah,
Now, I don't know if there's a better solution. The thing I'd be real concerned about with changing fixtures is there's a lot of companies pushing these fixtures that have the lighting built in, and if you ever want to change them, you got to replace the whole fixture, not just the bulb, which is, you know, not a very cost-effective thing to do. But I don't know if there's, maybe there's a reason that you can't use LEDs in these. I don't know, but it wouldn't be hard to test.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, you get
It
a
would-
ladder and a light bulb for a few bucks and go up there and put it in and see how it looks.
yeah, I'd like to make a donation to the town.
Yeah,
It's not-
it would be great to have someone, so we can bring the proposal back, to the committee and and everyone can take a look at it and see what he said, and then if need be, we'll ask him to come in and answer questions. We also had that solar company that, they are still emailing, they're still interested in talking
Yeah,
town.
I remember when they came and they kind of gave a little presentation and
Right.
then they were kind of quick to leave. And it's not, they didn't even really ask or really explain much of what they wanted
We
to
already had our
do.
mind made up, sort of. I
Oh, you
thought.
think that's what it was?
That's what I was new to it, and I saw them, they just presented and just walked out.
Yeah.
Didn't even take questions.
Right, right. I thought it was,
Yeah.
so,
And there's others too, so, I mean, I feel like, especially with that, it's something you'd want to have a few presentations by a few different,
yeah.
companies, and then, you know, we can certainly
Brainstorm.
do research and,
Yeah.
but, you know, that's one thing we could look at. So there's a lot. I mean, if we just look at the, you know, transfer station and the amount of electricity used at the transfer station, you know, how do we make that more efficient? Public Works garage, the, road agent's garage,
Yeah, so we can start with a list of just items that we want to review, like, you know, we've already started, I think we said just 4 items just now. You know, all the lighting, I think it would be pertinent to switch out all fluorescent lighting to LED right away, because it is so much more efficient. And we can do a quick calculation that shows the payback period,
Cost.
show that it's really
It's like a
worth it.
no-brainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, I agree.
Even if the bulbs or fixtures are slightly more expensive, it's not gonna take long to come out ahead and, I mean, how many bulbs you got going here?
They last longer, you know, you won't
If
need
you
to
buy the
replace
right
them.
ones, that's make sure you get a decent quality one.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you buy a good one, they should last a really long time.
Yeah, the bulbs themselves are more expensive, but they last, you know, 5 times as long as a regular fluorescent light, so.
yeah,
We
these
can
were-
show that that's worth it and just, so that I think is on the top of the list, but,
Do we have a breakdown of like the total energy cost by where they're coming from?
we can,
well, I think we need to put together a list of questions like
We can
that,
get that.
requests
Yeah.
for information like that.
and we
So
can,
if we're gonna make the biggest difference,
The heavy
it
hitters first or something.
Right.
would be good for us to know where the biggest expenses are coming from.
I mean, the Eversource bills, are they split by location, Karen?
Most of them, I believe, are, but, don't we have a spreadsheet, budgeting for?
Yes, that, book.
Is it by department or overall
No,
location,
yeah.
I think it's
I would say.
location,
location?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because when you really think about the whole town, you know, Talent Hall, I mean, that's an older building. there's been questions about looking at that for heat, looking at that for lighting. So there hasn't really been any engineering plans or on that building yet, so
Okay.
there's quite a few locations. Even yes, 'cause the old town, the old fire station,
Yeah, so
Is
we
on
have the
there.
town hall, police, old fire station, so we combine those, but we can separate them. New fire station, highway garage, solid
Yeah, we could
waste,
pick a
the kennel,
candidate, a couple
the
good
rack.
candidates,
and street
either by
lights.
cost or volunteers.
Yeah. I'm curious. The next time I go to the transfer station, can I say, "Hey, I'm with the energy committee, and I want to ask some questions and look around at your equipment," and or is there some rules against that?
no, Dave Mellon, the transfer, station, manager, he would be happy to show you. They did do a presentation for the budget committee, which I believe, is on YouTube.
Hmm.
So, that they answered a bunch of questions, went through the equipment that was
Oh, okay.
used. So you might wanna take a look at that, but certainly Dave will answer your questions. It's very interesting, everything that they do and everything that they use.
Yeah, I'd like to
Detailed
know. I'd
than-
like
a
to
lot
see
more
their
detailed than
equipment.
people know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot goes into it. It's not just a black hole. Okay, so I think then for an action for all of us is we just, do a little bit of brainstorming, come up with some questions you'd have for the town about that sort of thing, and then at our next meeting, we can kind of go through all of our ideas and maybe we'll have some more, come up with some questions to ask, some information to receive from some of the town departments, what we'd like to know, so that we can target where the biggest savings can come from. Okay?
Yeah, I'm thinking for a start, I'd just like to know, where are we using the energy? What's it costing? And,
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
we,
right
then
at
we
the
know where to
top.
look.
So we can
Otherwise, we're
track
just kinda
it.
guessing.
right.
Any, yeah.
So Karen, will you take that as
That I'll do that, sure, I
get
mean,
that
yeah.
together and send
Our
it out
biggest
to the
one is,
committee?
is the town hall.
Oh, really?
It's a bigger building.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the town hall, the police side.
What's using power in here, other than the obvious?
And it could be the outside. I don't know
Lighting.
that, cause we redid all the street lights in town
Yeah.
a couple years ago. Those went all to LED, but not like the lights around the buildings,
Parking,
just
yeah.
the street lights, yeah.
Okay.
That's surprising. I would think it was the transfer station.
No, actually, the new fire station would be, next.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I would imagine they have LED lights.
I would guess.
They weren't built that long ago. But, I mean, we can double check and, we can even, get the department heads to put together some information on what they see, at their locations and give some recommendations and, some
Or
information
just
for you.
a copy of the power bill and meter reading from each building, maybe. That's probably as granular as they're gonna break it down, I suppose, unless they have some kinda like smart monitoring in the system.
And I
Yeah.
think that would be enough to help,
I think this
Yeah,
just
that'd
like
be-
the
that'd let us know if there's
Benchmark.
anything
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, if there's
that
something
we need
way
to
out
look
of the
at.
ordinary, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a
we got
basis.
some
So
really
we just do
inefficient
the
piece of
actual
equipment
expense
somewhere.
and then we do the run
Leaking
rate at
power.
the end.
Yeah. So I guess we'd need that kilowatt usage.
Yeah.
So as for town energy goals, though, so I think this is actually very productive, you know, going and targeting certain things to try to reduce the energy consumption and the cost. But town goals could just be, you know, a reduction in electricity usage from the municipal buildings. But I mean, is this supposed to be some big document that, I'm not sure what does the Board of Selectmen want, as far as energy goals, other than reducing cost?
So certainly, I mean, I'd let, Selectman Queenan speak to it, but I know they did Monday night speak to, do we want to have any green goals? You know, and lessen, some municipalities have a plan on lessen the reliance on energy sources, but, I think they were really asking what the committee thinks. I mean, you know, is that something that the
Yeah.
town should adopt? Should we,
Well, I'll say the only way that I would get behind any green energy goals or anything like that is if there's real savings that comes with it. It's just like what we did with the community power plant. If it's going to cost people more money, you know, to use solar or wind or whatever, I can't stand behind that. And I don't see the real benefit to the people in the town.
So the other thing is that you had mentioned some incentive with certain grants. That's something that
Yeah.
if we knew what the grants were, we could look at that, kind of drive it backwards. To a grant or available grants, that if we did a certain project, we would qualify for grants that we mentioned in the past meetings about,
yes.
vehicles or something like that.
So
So that would be
the
interesting.
vehicles would be a good one because, so we just got the grant for the $300,000 plow truck.
Right,
That's all on reducing your diesel,
Yeah.
usage and emissions. And there will be another one coming out this spring.
Okay.
so that would be the type of thing that maybe we could work in conjunction with
The
that
road
plan.
agent, yeah, and,
Yeah, so what's the criteria for the grant, and
Right.
let's see if we can meet that criteria.
yeah, I can share all that. I mean, I can share the criteria will be very similar to the one we just responded to, so, I can share that and you can look at it. I know that as far as this truck alone that we're replacing, we believe we'll save over $10,000 in diesel costs. It's an old truck, it's a
Yeah.
2000.
Is it a new diesel engine or
It'll be a new, yes,
Technology?
Western,
auto?
Western Star or?
Star,
Star,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it'll be a brand new Western Star and, which gets a lot better gas mileage than our old 2000 International, which is kinda put together with pieces.
Do all the municipal buildings have backup generators?
Oh, there's another project.
Yeah.
So we have a generator at the school, Campbell, right? And the fire department had said that that one really needed to be looked at, because they thought that that might be one, that needs to be updated. We have a generator here,
Yeah, Fire station, I believe, has one.
Does solid waste?
I don't know, I don't think so. And I don't think
Or-
highway does now.
Yeah, so,
Another thing to look into, but that's not gonna be savings, that's gonna be expenses, so.
but it's
But-
continuation of operations,
Yeah.
which is important. And sometimes you can find grants for those things if you're looking at how to continue.
Yeah.
Especially during emergency situations.
And then we can look at, insulation in the buildings, how old are all the windows in the oldest municipal building? That sort of thing. I mean, we don't need to get into
There-
that
yeah,
sort of
there's a
detail
lot.
now, but,
Well, if you're gonna do it, the middle of the winter is a good time to do it. You can feel if you're getting cold air.
yeah.
It's a lot harder to analyze in the summer.
Well, just this door.
Right,
Yeah, you got a draft there.
I mean, it's not only a draft, it's some sort of,
It's a heat sink.
Makeshift.
yeah. But, and there was one that, which they just redid the old fire station, right? I'm not sure if they redid the windows or if they just,
Yeah, I don't think they
siding.
redid, yeah, just the siding.
but, yeah, I think if we really created a list, there would be
a lot of items.
a lot of items to
Yeah.
knock off.
Well, that's what we mean is, yeah, we should have an extensive list, and then we can kind of prioritize one thing or another. So, I don't think we're gonna solve all the problems right here now, but I think if we go home and take a couple weeks to write down our own items and then come back to the next meeting prepared, it'll be a lot more productive.
Yeah, and I think if we have some of the department heads, like, if we have Dave, from Solid Waste come in, Kevin Brown from Highway,
Yeah, definitely.
I betcha, Jeff, the building inspector, I betcha he could give a lot of feedback,
Can we invite them to come to the next meeting, or some of
Sure.
them?
Sure.
See if they have any comments. Okay.
Certainly can. When would you like it?
Yeah, when,
So I would say, deliberatives February 3rd, and then the vote is March 12th. So, do you
I think we should meet before the vote.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at least once a month is reasonable. Cause I do think with the outreach, we need to let the public know these things before the vote. It's really important.
So we have. Looking to see the town calendar. February 29th, which is a Thursday. There looks as if there's no meeting that night. Which is, just about a month away.
Yeah.
So is that it, 29?
It's a Thursday.
That works for me.
We'll set it up and invite those department heads. We'll kind of give them a heads up of what you're looking at so they can, prepare some comments. And, then we can go over, Selectman Queenan can give some feedback on deliberative and what happened, and decide if you need, more outreach or anything for March 12th.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, so we have our tasks. Is there any other discussion? Any other points anyone wants to make?
No, I'm gonna look into the light bulbs and see if there's any
Interchangeable.
drawbacks to using interchangeables, if there's
Yeah.
efficiency or lifespan issues or anything, but,
For generics.
yeah. Cause we're, yeah, doing, that's all, that's my only thought.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
have any
that's great.
questions, on the fixtures, Eric,
Yeah,
just
I assume most of them are gonna be these various lengths of these regular fluorescent bulbs that need to be
yeah, and
replaced,
the
right?
ones that are like over the town clerk and, the board of selectmen.
At the very least, I think we wanna consider, you know,
Just
the cost
swapping them.
difference between swapping and replacing.
Yeah.
Even if it's not quite as good, it might save a lot of time and money.
Yeah,
Um,
these don't even work anymore.
Oh,
I mean, these fixtures, here, but if you have any questions, give Jeff Blackwell a call, he can,
Jeff
Pretty much-
Blackwell, he is.
yeah.
Who?
He's the building inspector, but
Okay.
he knows the systems in these buildings.
Okay,
He handles most of the municipal buildings.
Yeah, and as you're doing research, feel free to send an email to the committee's email address. Let us all know what you found whenever you please.
sure.
We'll do the same.
Alright.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn, and I have a second by Fred.
Oh, you were asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, motion passes 3-0. We are adjourned. Thank you. Good night.
We will get all that stuff.
Yeah.
Work with John.